Hey guys, what's up? Darcy here at 6 Strings 9 Lives. Welcome to episode 21 of 6 with 6 Strings. As per usual, if you're new to the channel, welcome. And if you're one of the usual suspects or maybe a little unusual, anyways, welcome to you too. Always appreciate you guys stopping by. Love chatting with you guys in the comments. And that is exactly what these episodes are designed for. These aren't new finds. I didn't just buy these. They're just 6 random albums from my collection. Spark the conversation. Some of them you'll love, some of them you'll never have heard of, some you'll just think are pure shit. That's okay. That's what we're here for. We can discuss it, like big people. And anyways, just prior to the video, or me sitting down to do this video, I zipped over to Walmart. If you watched any of my previous episodes, those newer Dio reissues came with a lenticular cover. I framed the first 4, and then I was still looking for a couple more frames. They were out of stock. They finally got them in, so I framed up Holy Diver Live here. I'm gonna hold it sideways, a bit of a glare here, but these frames are just excellent. They're 13 inch by 13 inch, if you're wondering. Here in Canada or the States, you have a place called Walmart, big, department store type of thing, but if you're looking for the exact measurements, 13 inch by 13 inch. If you need centimeters, whatever, convert it. And here is Evil or Divine. So these are the 2 lenticular covers I've been waiting to get framed. So I can put them most likely probably right behind me, right beside this Iron Maiden poster. We'll see, maybe in the next video they'll be up there. Anyways, as far as the episode 21 goes here, I got a good variety today. I got some thrash, even got some glam metal, some power metal, some US power metal. And funny enough, actually 4 of these bands have not made an appearance in any of these episodes yet. But 2 have, and we're gonna start off with a band that did make an appearance, and I showed their first album. It's the Bay Area thrash band Heathen. And today I'm gonna show their second album. There's been rumblings of a reissue of this album, long overdue, super hard to get on any format, but I'm talking about Victims of Deception. This is their second album from 1991, and I listened to this again just the other day, and I was like, you know what, this is just it's a thrasher piece. It is awesome. Lee Altus, who is now in Exodus and still in Heathen, brand new album they had out last year called Empire of the Blind. Only their 4th album. That's the thing with these guys. They only have 4 studio albums. There was a big gap in between 91 and 2009, 18-year gap where they did not have an album. And then they came out with The Evolution of Chaos in 09. And then you didn't see them again for another 11 years till Empire of the Blind. Anyways, if you can get a hold of this, I strongly recommend this album. For me, this album has a lot of Metallica vibes. If you took Ride the Lightning, Master of Puppets, and some of the production of Justice, and I don't mean the thin, no bass, but you know what? The bass isn't super prominent in this album, but it definitely has a master, it has a Puppets vibe for sure. But anyways, check out, there's no weak song on here. There's even a cover of Kill the King on here, but Ope to the Masses, one of my favorite songs, Prisoner of Fate, Mercy is No Virtue, Timeless Cell of Prophecy. I am just really hoping they reissue this album, long overdue. Check out some Heathen if you haven't. One of those bands that, one of those thrash bands that, they weren't in the big 4, would they be in the big 8, the big, they're definitely up there. They're, I would say, top 20 for sure thrash bands. A lot of these guys should have been bigger. Let's put it that way. So check that out. Next up, I had mentioned some glam. And this album, I kind of have a love-hate relationship with, no, that's a bad joke. I am talking about love-hate. This is Blackout in the Red Room. This is a really, really good album. I'm not always... I haven't been pumping out the glam over the past, I don't know, as I got as I got older, it feels like I'm even getting heavier, but I can't lose sight of some of this stuff because this is just an excellent album. This came out in 1990. Their second album, which is called Wasted in America, came out in 1992. But this is if you know this band, I'm sure you know this album. Check out the tracks. Well, Blackout in the Red Room is such a great song. Jizzy Pearl, yeah, nice name. He must have lost the bet on that one. But anyways, Jizzy Pearl has one of those voices that's very, very unique, I'd say. Kind of that raspy, you know, it fits this, whether you call this glam or sleaze or whatever. His voice is excellent. What other? Why Do You Think They Call It Dope was a huge hit for these guys. Definitely check out that track. I want to pull this cover out so you can actually see this. The artwork is quite unique, and it is on their second album, Too Wasted in America. Honestly, after their first two albums, totally lost track of them. I couldn't tell you if they're still going, what they're doing, but I do know that their first two albums are excellent. This one is, I'm going to say by far my favorite. Wasted in America has some good tracks, but this one is the best in my opinion. Lots of great tracks on here. Like I said, Why Do You Think They Call It Dope? Check that track out. Or the lead off track, Blackout in the Red Room. She's an Angel, Mary Jane, great song. Slave Girl. Hell California, Population 4 to wrap up this album. Very cool. Check out some Love Hate. You never know when you get in a bit of a glam mood and kind of put the heavy stuff down for a bit. Oh, I didn't take this one out of the bag. Next up, let me grab a little drink. This is a reissue on Nuclear Blast of Blind Guardian's third album, which is called Tales from the Twilight World. Now, if you're new to Blind Guardian or you're just getting into them, honestly, this would be one that I'd recommend to you to check out. And also, if you're wanting these reissues, they're very well done. So it is a 2-disc set. And what they've done with this is they have the remastered one, and then they have the original here. And there is a big sound difference. Definitely the older version you have to turn up quite a bit. But anyways, check out these Nuclear Blast reissues if you are going to kind of get into some Blind Guardian. This is a really solid album. This is their third album. And kind of... this was my starting point too, but this, check out the track Traveler in Time. Excellent lead-off track. Probably one of my favorite Blind Guardian songs, Welcome to Dying. It is just awesome. Tommy Knockers, which is based off of the Stephen King book. Lost in the Twilight Hall, featuring one of my favorite guys, Kai Hansen, on there, and he does dual lead, kind of a duet with Hansi on there. The Last Candle, Weird Dreams, which is an instrumental. Goodbye, My Friend, excellent song. But if you want to check out one track only and get hooked on this album, I recommend Welcome to Dying. Definitely check it out. I only have about 6 out of 11 of their studio albums. I still need some of the later stuff. But definitely going to still be on the lookout for some more Blind Guardian. But there is their third album. And I don't want to get that wrong again. Tales from the Twilight World. Excellent album. Next up, here's kind of an album about, or I'm going to ask you, kind of an album where you want to ask you're thinking, should they have done this? Or if they didn't do it, you'd want to know, how did it turn out? So, you know what? We got the album, and I'm talking about Anthrax, The Greater of Two Evils. So what I'm kind of getting at here is when a band redoes their own material, and in this case, John Bush is on vocals at this time, and then they redo songs from Fistful of Metal right through till Persistence of Time, which is Neil Turbin and Joey Belladonna. And for me personally, there is only one Anthrax vocalist. and that's Joey Belladonna. As much as I love John Bush, I still feel like he's better suited in Armored Saint, which is an absolutely fantastic band that I do love. But this is not a, in my opinion, it's the music's great, but listening to John Bush do, I think he does maybe a better job with the Neil Turbin stuff, because it's more in, Armored Saint would be more closer to what they did on Fistful of Metal versus, other stuff. But yeah, there is 3 tracks on here from Fistful of Metal. There's 3 from Spreading the Disease. There is 5 tracks from Among the Living, only 1 from State of Euphoria, and 2 from Persistence of Time. So there's a total of 14 tracks. But yeah, if you're just checking out anything from this album, and you want to kind of get a sample, play Indians, see how John sounds on that, or, the song Among the Living, Caught in a Mosh. But I still think the original vocalists are best suited for these songs. But, it didn't hurt to try, and it's not terrible. Like I said, the music's excellent. Probably my favorite album of a band redoing anything would be Testament, First Strike, Still Deadly. I just think that is just updated. It's a powerhouse album. It is awesome. The production's awesome. Yes, I still have those attachments to the originals, but that would probably be my favorite. Let me know if you have any bands that you listen to that have redone material that you actually like better or close. I'd be surprised to hear the bands you come up with, but probably Testament for me for sure. All right, 2 more to wrap up this episode. Next up, here's another band that has, they have not made an appearance on any of my episodes of this, but they only have 2 studio albums. This band is from Quebec, Canada. And if you know their first album, Metalized, fantastic album. The band I'm talking about is Sword, and this is Sweet Dreams. This is their second album. So if you're more familiar with their first album, Metalized, with, the tracks like Stoned Again, and what an album that is. But this is, I'm not going to say equally as good, but it's damn close. I would not sleep on this album, put it that way. So this is their second album. This came out in Metalized came out in 86. This one came out in 88. A bit of a vibe, like Metalized to me still has a little touch of Wasp vibe as far as the guitar tone goes. And I always get a lot of vibe of Sabotage with the vocals. Not quite as high range as John Olivia, but close. But this album, Sweet Dreams, check out the lead-off track, the title track, Sweet Dreams. The second track, The Trouble Is. YouTube that one, you'll be hooked. It is a great song. Back Off, Caught in the Act, great track. Life on the Sharp Edge, Quebec, Canada. And you know what? I live in Canada. These guys are from, and their first language would be French. You can detect a hint of their accent in their music. And probably because I'm more familiar with that, maybe, that I detect it. But I do love a little bit of, that home accent in a song, whether you're from Germany, whether you're from, Spain, you're speaking Spanish. I do love that hint in a song. I think, just song, album, band. But anyways, check out Sword, Sweet Dreams, their second album. The only thing else they've put out is a live album in 2016. I think live in Hammersmith or Live Hammersmith. I don't own that yet. I just own their 2 studio albums, but definitely a band you want to check out. And here is a band that did make 1 appearance. I don't have a lot of their discography. I actually only have the 2 albums. I don't know, they probably have about 12 albums, but there's only 2 that really hit the international market. And I had showed these guys in episode 16, and the band is DAD, and we talked about No Fuel Left for the Pilgrims. This time I'm going to talk about their second album, which to me is almost as good as that No Fuel Left for the Pilgrims, but this is Risking It All. This one is from 1991. No Fuel Left for the Pilgrims was from 1989. This is a great, well, I'm not going to say second album, but second album to me. But after that, they really, as far as their international record contract, they lost that part of it, for, heavy distribution in Canada or North America. But their albums are still available. They're still going. I think they put out an album 1 or 2 years ago. I still need to dig into some of those albums, but definitely check this one out. If you only know No Fuel Left for the Pilgrims, I recommend this one too. Check out some of my favorite tracks. Well, the leadoff track, Bad Crazy's awesome. D-Law, which means Disneyland Law. And that's actually what these guys stand for, is Disneyland After Dark. But, of course, for obvious copyright infringement, or you don't want to deal with Disney, I'm sure they got a couple of lawyers on board. They just shorten their name to DAD. My favorite tracks on here, though, Making Fun of Money, absolutely an awesome track. And if you want to YouTube one track, the closing track for this is so, I don't know, I just love it. It's kind of an acoustic, feel-good song. It's called Laugh and a Half. Very cool. Check out some DAD if you haven't. I would put these guys in, just hard rock, maybe a little on the glam side. They're from Denmark. Great Danish hard rock. But I think that is it for today's episode. And yeah, let me know in the comments, are some of these bands new to you? Some of these bands that you could recommend more albums to me. Like I said, I have to really build up on my Blind Guardian collection of their newer, not their newest, that concept album that came out, last year? But there is a little gap in there that I need about, I think, Twists in the Myth it's called, and a couple other ones around there too. Are those good albums? Should I be picking those up too? But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Always nice chatting with you. And until next time, stay heavy.